peppers.
Hey, it's Janeway, and nobody touches Sisko's peppers.
Nobody touches my peppers.
Oh sure, cooking in the Trek universe may have given way to replicated slop.
That's your wretched technology again.
But home cooking still reigns supreme. Heck, even Chief O'Brien's mother raised the most badass engineer in all of Starfleet on real food. Put some hair on your chest.
She handled real meat.
Yeah, like a master chef.
But you know who else was raised on home cooking? Captain Benjamin Sisko, the man bringing brawl in from New Orleans, commander of the most important station in the quadrant, the man destined to bring baseball to the Bajoran prophets, the man who goes into the wormhole with a single ship to face down an entire fleet of Jem'Hadar battleships, and leave unscathed, the man who slams his fist on a glass table and barely flinches. Not to mention, he straight up threw Garrick across a table, all while making a mean jambalaya.
Jambalaya.
That's right, Starfleet's most badass captain is also a badass chef. Walk onto Deep Space Nine and you'll no doubt be greeted with the smells emanating from the Sisko quarters as he whips up another tasty meal.
Don't your neighbors ever complain?
Sometimes, but usually it's only an excuse to get a taste of my cooking.
But what exactly inspired this giant among man to pick up a frying pan? Well, it all started back in New Orleans at Sisko's. Joe Sisko, father of the Emissary and head chef of his own Creole restaurant, inspired Ben to serve up a mean gumbo every so often, as well as serve as his taste tester.
He would try out his new recipes on us. He used to call us his test tasters.
And why shouldn't Ben be inspired by his father? After all, he wrestles that alligator in his restaurant every morning.
I had to stop doing that. It got to be too much trouble wrestling it back up to the ceiling every morning.
Badass. In fact, Joe probably inspired some of Ben's badassery. Who else could insult a couple of Starfleet officers while demanding they order something from his restaurant?
You take these two vampires and tell them to either sit down and grab a menu or get out of my restaurant.
That Joe Sisko is full of vim and vigor.
Just point me in the direction of a party and a pretty girl and I'll show you how good I feel.
TMI. You see, to the Siskos, cooking is a serious art. Why else does Neelix stay in the Delta Quadrant? Do you think his Leola root can compete with Sisko-grown peppers? No. He could have gone with Janeway and the rest of Voyager's crew back to Earth. He chose to stay in the Delta Quadrant a few episodes before the show ended. Well, I wonder why. In fact, Sisko takes his veggies so seriously, he grows his own. None of that semi-home replicated crap ever touches a Sisko frying pan. No going to weird planets searching, hoping to find something edible and nasty. Sisko takes care of all of that himself, and we're all the happier for it. Can your Leola root do that, Neelix? Not only has Ben a master chef, he's got a green thumb.
How many months did it take you to grow all those vegetables in the hydroponic garden? Every ingredient fresh. Real.
Yes, even an like Michael Eddington, who purposely misled the entire senior staff into thinking he wasn't in the Maquis, can recognize culinary greatness. In fact, Sisko took Eddington's betrayal very personally. But what was it exactly? Was it because Eddington lied to him and everyone on the station? Was it because he betrayed his uniform?
You betrayed your uniform!
Was it the taunting using Les Miserables? Was it even about enjoying a baseball game with him in the holosuite? Maybe. Or maybe it was because he wasted perfectly good food on a lying, backstabbing, bald man. Well, not the badass kind. Or what if Eddington was shaping up to be some serious competition for the emissary of the grill? Growing his own corn and tomatoes?
Fresh corn. Sweet as a baby's smile, and tomatoes.
Could Ben have really saved Eddington at his last stand? Was it really that much of a lost cause? There can only be one, Michael! Well, certainly not. Ben needn't worry about Eddington of all people. Well, at least he made him eat a replicated TV dinner.
It's not that bad.
But even the Sisko has to resort to the replicator every so often. Though it's not exactly ideal.
Oatmeal lumpy again?
In fact, screw the health food. No,
Perfectly synthesized, ingeniously enhanced imitations.
No steamed asna. If it can't be sauteed, rolloped, fricasseed, it ain't worth it.
Steamed asna would put years on your life.
Dax, I don't want years on my life if I can only eat steamed asna.
Home cooking for the win. In fact, Ben even gets his own crew involved. Come on over to the Sisko quarters. Learn how to whip up a souffle. And not even with Harvey Korman dressed as an alien.
Stir, whip, stir.
Heck, you don't like your veggies, Doctor? Beet's not doing it for you?
You don't like beets, Doctor? That's because you haven't had them prepared properly.
Because cooking is a source of joy with Ben. In fact, when he feels good, he whips up a helping of chicken pepper quiche.
Paprikash.
It's getting to spend time with his son Jake. Okay, even when Jake brings his buddy Nog home for dinner, Ben tries to make guests in his house feel welcome.
This sauce tastes very familiar.
Well, it should. It's puree of tube grubs.
You hear that? Ben just made bugs taste good. Heck, Nog eats them alive as is customary for Ferengi, and Chef Sisko managed to earn his approval. Jake, on the other hand... But Miss Aubergine stew with the old man, Jake? No, not that old man. Miss your father's cooking? Oh, hell no. Oh, you were teaching Nog how to read? Oh, well, I guess that's okay. You're still eating microwave stew when you get home. There are poor people who have to eat Captain Janeway's burnt replicated roast. She burnt all those roasts with her love of Chakotay. Heck, if you want to get a modicum of cooperation from the Sisko household, you better order up some food.
Get them a menu.
But, sir,
I would recommend the shrimp creole.
And if you can't take the cayenne pepper, you better stay out of the Sisko kitchen.
She never puts enough cayenne pepper in the jambalaya,
just like Mom.
which means she has no business in the kitchen.
Even Cassidy, trying to make Ben feel better, should leave the cooking to the professional.
My peppers. Took me 3 months to grow them. Nobody touches my peppers.
And sure, Sisko might not be the only chef in Starfleet. Riker tried his hand at cooking a few times himself. But can the bearded sage of the Enterprise kitchen compete with the emissary of Bajor and his kitchen? Who takes it? Whose cuisine reigns supreme?
초생자 아르달레다.
But in all seriousness, I like this aspect of Sisko because, as larger than life as he is, doing feats that we can only wish we had the courage to do ourselves, his having a love of cooking makes him relatable. It seems like his cooking for his crew, preparing a meal for Jake, even getting annoyed at Jake for not showing up to dinner on time, that makes him a regular guy that we would see in our lives. While Picard is one of my top captains, he's much more distant. While he may be cultured with an intellect that would be interesting to debate, Sisko is the guy I'd watch a baseball game with while eating ballpark food. But that's all I have for right now about Sisko and his love of cooking. And it just goes to show you that for all the technology the Federation has, with replicators that can make anything you want almost instantly, provided it's healthy, there's nothing quite like a home-cooked meal made with love, and a heaping helping of badassery. But now what about you? What are some of your favorite Sisko cooking moments? In fact, have you tried out the Sisko recipes that are out there? What did you think of them? And what are some hobbies of Trek captains that make them relatable? Comment your favorites below. As always, thanks for tuning in to another Star Trek video. If you like what you see, why not give my video a like and subscribe to my channel? Tell your friends. Until next time...
You're cooking chicken paprikash.
Paprikash.